Hey everyone, it's Will, and today we're going to talk about watering your plants and making sure that you're giving your plant just the right amount of water, because some of you are maybe not plant whisperers or not feeling and hearing the signs that your plants are giving to you about when they need water and when they're just totally cool. So if you're somebody who is constantly hovering around with a watering can going like, is it time? And the plants are like, no, stay away, don't overwater me. Or you're somebody who's like, I just forgot about you, and then all of a sudden you come and they're dead. These watering meters might be a good option for you. So we have 3 different moisture meters that we have available at Hemans that we're going to talk about here today. We have the Quench, we have the SUS-T, and then we also have the Rapid Test. So there's 3 different options here. They range in prices, and all the prices for all these and all the options that we have, we're going to put them in the comment section or in the description below, so you can find those for you. But we're going to walk through all the different ones and figure out if there's which one of these is going to be right for you and the plants you have at your place. So the first ones that we have are going to be these SUS-T versions, and these are ones that we've imported out of Japan. They come in 2 different colors, both green and white, and we have 3 different sizes. So if you have really small plants like a 4-inch pot or a 6-inch or all the way up into the 10s and 12s up here, these ones are going to be something where you basically pull them out of the package, and they work like having a wick, where there's an opening towards the bottom, and the soil will come in contact with this, the moisture will transfer up, and then this top part here, when your plant needs to be watered, it will be white, like this one is right now. But if your plant is good, like this Pink Princess here, you'll see that they'll have this blue color. As we talked about before, there's 2 different color options, so that if you do have a plant like this Areca palm here, where you've got the stems that are nice and green, this is going to be a very subtle thing that you can just have in there, and most people would never know that it's there. When they do turn, they won't turn color from like blue to white going like this. You'll often see them kind of changing on this angle, almost like the setting and rising sun in the sky. So you'll just notice that if it is, again, white, means you need to water, but if it's blue, it means you're good to go on that. And we do have replacement wicks on these because they do actually, over time, just expire. And you'll see that this is the wick system here, and on these wicks, they say, the manufacturer says 6 to 9 months. In our experience, it's more like 4 to 6. But either way, they're going to last you for a good long time, and this is going to be the most inexpensive moisture meter that we have here that we're talking about today. And we have both the replacements and the 3 different sizes available at Hemans. The second we want to talk to you about is a cool Canadian product. This is the Quench moisture meter, and it is a cool Kickstarter project that was originated out of Alberta. And with this one here, it's got the same system where you're going to buy the individual meter and you're going to stick it in one plant and leave it in there, and it's going to give you a report on that plant. But unlike the SUS-T, this one is a little bit cooler. It's low tech in that it doesn't require any Wi-Fi or any kind of app that you're going to read from. But what it does have is these 2 sensors that will read the moisture that's in your plant, and when it's dry, it will have a little chime, and it'll have a sound, and each of your Quench will have a different sound. So you can have multiples in the house, and you will be able to pick up the sound and know which one it's reading as dry from. It's good for everything from your water tolerant plants like your cactus, all the way to your water needing plants that are like your ferns. So you can put them in any one that you might have. If it's something that needs a lot of water, then you just put it in very shallow. And if it's something that doesn't need a lot of water, like these cacti, you can put them in nice and deep. And then if you're wondering, let's say, Will, that sounds awesome, but I really don't want something chiming at me in the middle of the night like when I'm trying to sleep. Don't worry, with these, they actually have a sensor that tells whether it's light or day. So during the day, if they need water, they will chime at you. And if it's in the middle of the night, then they will not chime, and they'll just have a red flash, a very subtle red flash. So it won't wake you up in that regard. So that's the second option. And again, that's going to be more than the SUS-T, but not as much as this guy here, which is the third option that we have, which is going to be different from these 2, because this is a moisture meter that, unlike the first 2 that kind of told you I need water or I don't need water, this one is your classic moisture meter where it's going to take the reading and it's going to give you a number. So with this, if you don't know what your plant is needing, it's going to give you a reading from like 0 to 10, and it will read out that moisture. It has a whole bunch of recommendations of the number that might be appropriate for the plants, but frankly, the plants that we have in our greenhouse and that you have in your house are extensive, and the list is a little bit limited. So we usually would suggest that you go with your gut of like knowing from your experience of like, oh my gosh, this one's really light and this one's really heavy, to know whether that number is appropriate. But unlike these other two, you can take this and you can go around to all the plants in your house, you can stick them in, get a reading, you can go into the next one, stick it in, get a reading, and it will give you a reading of exactly what the moisture was in that probe part. So just in case you can read it, you could put in a couple spots just to make sure that you're getting a good and accurate reading on it. And that's going to be the Rapid-Test moisture meter on there. One other point that I forgot to mention with the Quench is that if you are somebody who is all fancy and you like to mix your own aggregates, or you're putting together your own mixes, the Quench unit doesn't work very well if you're going in leca or in very chunky, very bark-like material where there's going to be lots of air pockets or a lot of water that could be present in there, because it's working off the moisture contact in the soil. So that gives you a rundown of the three that we have here. I hope that if you've come in and you've noticed and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what those are, or if you've just been thinking about wanting to be a better plant parent for your plants, that if these are a solution that is going to fix a problem you might have, that this is going to help you with that. So we really appreciate you guys watching, and if you have any questions about any of these or anything else, as always, you can post in the comment section below. We look forward to helping you in the greenhouse with any of your plant related needs. We'll see you soon.